Good morning. Today, I knew I wanted to do inner thighs. And as I was planning out what I wanted us to do, it actually wasn't inner thighs. It was like long lines. I wanted us to feel, I couldn't describe it any other way, just this really this lengthening of inner thighs, yes, but then we're going to add side body into it a little bit. So I would like you to have blanket, block, and strap for class. Of course, there's a bolster in the corner from yesterday from my practice, but bolster for Shavasana if you'd like. We're going to start moving in and out of table and down dog, and then just go right into some down dogs. We won't be there too long. There's a lot I want to do, which hopefully we'll get to all of it in our 45 minutes. So socks come off. Of course, I'm wearing the baggiest shirt, so hopefully this will work in down dogs. Okay. So because we're moving into down dog, I want your table to be bigger than normal, right? I don't want you completely stacked, right? So shoulders are going to be behind wrists, knees, behind hips. All right. So not really the most comfortable table. Okay. So take a nice breath in table. And then on your exhale, press it back to your dog. Then inhale, come down to your table. And exhale, press it back. So because we are doing inner thighs, that of course is also hamstrings, which is why we're warming up here. What I'd like you to work on as you keep moving, every time you lower back down to table, I want you to widen the knees a little. So make them wider and wider so that as you come into down dog, you have a much wider stance. Of course, once you get to about mat width, don't go any farther. A couple more. All right, now this next one, let's stay in dog pose. Now, what I'd like to do is three-legged dog. Kelly, depending on how you're feeling, if you don't want to be lifting up one of the legs, I want you to pedal through the feet. So while we're lifting up that right leg, I would want you to bend your right knee and press your left heel down, right? So that would be your variation, okay? So let's lift the right leg up. Keep the foot flexed and try to lift up through the hamstring, the buttock area. We won't stay here long, just another 2 breaths. Push the floor away. All right, come on down. All right, and then we're going to switch. So we push that right heel toward the floor, and either you bend that left knee, maybe Kel, or lift the left leg up. So the long lines come from us pressing the floor away with the arms. So long torso, and then really engaging, lifting through that left thigh and inner thigh. One more breath. On your exhale, start to lower. Okay, and then let's soften down onto the knees. So that was our warm up. Now we're going to do a few minutes in yin butterfly. So I want you to decide where you want your feet. So I want you to move around and play a little bit. So when your feet are as close up into your groin as you can get it, you're of course getting your inner thighs, but it's going to be still a little more, I don't want to use the word isolated into your hips, but it's just going to create more intensity in the hips. If you move the feet down, it's going to, I think, create a slightly more even stretch along the inner thighs. But if you want that intensity this morning, right, have the feet in just a little closer. If you don't, move them out. But play a little. Every time you move, relax the legs. And then you pick the spot. Okay. Hands rest on the belly. And I'm pretty sure after this, we're going to do the leg up with the strap. So make sure that strap is handy. So hopefully now it's been about a minute. Hopefully you're feeling the heaviness that the staying in a yin pose, really feeling that heaviness and the anchoring down of the thighs. And then you welcome the heaviness, you welcome the stretch, which is a stress on your tissues. If your stretch has kind of lost some of its appeal, maybe move the feet half an inch closer or farther away. Less than a minute to go. Okay, now let's bring the hands to the outside of the thighs. Bring the legs back up. Okay, so now we're going to take that strap. We're going to loop it. Let's loop it in the left foot first. So Kel, this one will be a good side for you. I think I'm just going to double check the mics here. So, and I'm actually going to turn around because I want you to be able to open your leg out to the left. So, right, I have a wall the way I was lying. So make sure you have space because we'll do the full-on hamstring stretch first. But remember, inner thigh is. I also want that blanket. Have a blanket next to you. All right. So straps on the ball of the foot. Slide your hands down so that the upper arms are against the floor. And then rock your pelvis forward. So it's like you're sticking your butt out and you've reestablished your low back curve. Okay, so we're going to do it twice. We're going to have the leg up straight, then we're going to open it out. So if you have a blanket, you don't need it, but I'm feeling tired in the hips and legs, so I don't really want to like use too much extra work today. I don't want to do too much more. So I'm putting this blanket right up against my left hip. We usually do this with a block. And then when we open the leg out to the side, this is to the left, the blanket will help to stop you from moving to the left. Okay. Upper arms are still on the floor. So remember, you want the stretch to be in the middle of the muscle, not primarily either at the groin or behind the knee. If it is, I want you to bend your knee and lift the leg up a bit. I want you to feel it more evenly across. One more breath here, and then we're going to go back up to center. All right, let's bring the leg back up and keep the hands low on the strap. And then again, send your pelvis forward so that you've got your low back curve. And then push that leg away from you. Good, one more breath here. All right, and then let's again open it out to the left. So there's a lot of weight in, I think, that left hand, but you're still engaging the left leg and pushing it away from you. One more breath. All right, and come all the way up. Remove that strap, lower your left leg down. Straighten the right leg if it's not already. Okay, so now I'm going to turn, but if you have space on your right side, put the right foot in the strap. Okay, Kel, I'm assuming you don't want to lift your right leg up, so I want you to sit with your right leg straight out and like have the left leg bent and open, right? So that you lean through both legs, so you get full inner thigh stretch. Okay. For those with the strap, slide your hands down the strap so that your upper arms are on the floor, shoulders are plugged in, and then shift your pelvis forward. Don't let it roll back. It wants to. It's the easy way out. If you keep your left leg straight on the floor, engage it. If you're looking for a little less activity, keep it bent. Much easier. All right, and then if you liked that blanket, go ahead, put that right up against the hip, and then open it up. So I want you to play with, and depending on flexibility here, right there, the movement might not be much, but if you lower your leg out to the side and you want to lower it as much as you can, that's one way of getting a stretch to the inner thigh. Another is to pull the strap toward you. That will bring the leg up higher, but it changes the stretch. One isn't better, one doesn't make you more flexible, it just changes where you're feeling it. So again, with with flexibility here, you might not move a whole lot, but keep that in mind. All right, let's come on up. So we're going to do the first stretch. Move the pelvis forward, establish your low back curve. Push the leg away as you very subtly pull the strap toward you. So you're creating this tension tug of war. All right, and then last one, we're going to open out to the right, and you determine where you want your leg placed in space. Okay. One more breath here. Right, and come on up. Remove the strap, lower the leg. Straighten the left leg if it isn't already. Our neutral pose will be a minute of Shavasana here. Okay. All right, let's just put that strap off to the side. We will be coming up to standing. So rock and roll a couple of times up to a seated position or roll to your side, your call. Okay. When you get there, we're coming, let me double check. Yes, we're coming into triangle pose. So this is where the block comes into play. You might not use it anyway, but it's just good to have. Okay, so we are going to take a really wide stance.
Mel,
Yes.
I'm not sure I'll be able to do that standing. So
Can you-
after you set everyone up,
No, that's okay. Can you do this pose?
maybe. I don't
Give
know.
that one a try and then unmute and let me know.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So block is on the inside of the right foot. Back foot's turned just a little bit in. Okay. So hands on hips, take a nice breath in, squeeze your front quads, and then exhale, hinge over that front leg. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hinge over. So I feel like we do this movement enough. And it's because I want you to just let your hips glide. I don't want you to force or to manipulate your hips to do anything. All right, so now we're going to stay down. I just want you to drop your hand. If it reaches the block, get the fingertips on it. If it doesn't, I don't want you to bend and round to get to the block. I want you to have your hand on your knee. Okay, Cal, I'll be with you in just a sec. Okay, so we're going to stay in triangle, squeezing this front thigh. And then on the inhale, we lift the left arm to the ear. So right, again, long line here, long line with the right thigh. Exhale, the left arm comes back to your side. So this is your movement. Inhale, the left arm up. Exhale, the left arm down. Good. Right leg stays active the whole time. Kel, I think let's do, I'm going to kind of make this up because I know you have the flexibility in your thighs and hips for this. So I want you to have your left knee bent behind. Well, right, the foot comes behind. Have the right leg like out open. And then I want you to hinge over so you get the inner thigh stretch and then you get the same arm stretch. How's that? Right. I feel like we always do like this one, you know, so I'm just changing it up for you. Okay, good. So inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, right arm lowers. Or exhale, the arm lowers, left arm lowers to your side. Okay, now let's stay with the left arm up to the ear. Re-engage that right thigh. I know it wants to not. Okay. Grab your block, come on up. We're gonna switch sides. Cal, take your time, right, coming out and getting that left leg out from underneath you. And then switch. Okay, and then we're gonna turn the left foot out, back right foot turns slightly in. Again, hands on hips to start. Inhale, we are upright. Exhale, we hinge over. Again, this is just your hips gliding naturally over the thigh. So the idea, right, so there's 3 long lines in this pose. Long line through the left inner thigh, long lines with the sides of the torso, right, and long line all the way down the right side. The next time you hinge over, we're going to stay there. Let the left arm drop, right, stay on your thigh. If you, to reach for the block, it causes you to round and to like come forward in space. I want you to stay back. Right. And now the right arm, palm face up at your side. It's not the most, right? It's not the most natural position. And then inhale to your ear. Long line, anchor through that, the back foot. Exhale down. Good. Good, let's do one more, then we'll stay. So re-engage those long lines, right? So re-engage the left thigh. Think about reaching your torso to your left, right? Reaching through the crown of the head. That's going to help to lengthen the sides. Then anchor down through the right foot. On your next inhale, take your block with you. Come on up. Okay. and then parallel your feet. We're going to do a wide-legged standing forward bend. So I'm going to take this block. Potentially, this might work for you, it might not. Resting the forehead on the block. So it's not, I don't want you to have the hugest hamstring stretch. We'll get there in just a second. I want this to be relatively relaxing. If it's still a big stretch, bend your knees, please. We won't be here long because I know bending the knees, that starts to irritate and become pretty active as well. Okay, so I want to offer a few different options here. So because it's inner thighs, I would love to start to shift weight into the right foot. So right knee bends, left knee straightens, and then shift back to center, and then right left knee straightens, or left knee bends, right knee straightens. Okay. So I'd just like to shift left and right. At this point, I guess you can keep your forehead on the block if that's accessible, right? If not, bring your hands to the block and shift. Because right now I want you to get into your hamstrings. Good. If you have the space for it, I'd like you to bring hands. They don't have to come to the floor. Maybe bring the block with you and stay over to the right side. So hands or block are in front of the right foot. If this feels too aggressive, continue with the more gentle tick-tocking left and right. So now we're going to stay here and we're going to make it more and more challenging. So you try it as you need, as you can. So I want you to bend more deeply into the right knee and pick the left toes off the floor. So now I've got like a hand behind sometimes. It's a lot for the right leg. Right, I'm gonna put the left foot back on the floor. I'm coming back through center and now over to the left. So left knee is bent, right knee is straight. Kel, if this is a lot, you can just stay in the standing forward bend. We'll be down on the ground in just a sec in a straddle position. So, okay. On this left side, this is the last one. If you'd like to try a little more challenging, and again, this is if your left inner thigh has that capacity, you don't want to overdo it. You bend more deeply into the left knee and you pick the right foot up off of the floor. Weight has to like shift back into like your heel a lot. So as I get used to it, I have my left hand almost behind me to help. So my right heel is on the floor, toes are up somewhat toward the ceiling. All right, we're going to put that right foot back down, shift back to center, shake it out. Walk the feet in. Okay, and we are going to come to sitting. So a couple things I would, depending on if when you come to a straddle, you like round backward and your pelvis rounds and your body rounds, I want you to sit on a blanket. For me, I know I don't really need that. I usually use it, but I would rather have a folded blanket underneath my right knee. That just always feels better from that old running injury. Okay, regardless of how you're sitting, I want you to grab the flesh of the buttocks, move them out from underneath. We're going to stay engaged, so squeeze the thighs, flex the feet. Okay, and then without bringing your arms forward, want you to hinge forward. You'll likely not go very far. You want to keep the back neutral, shoulders back as well. And then come on up. And then on an exhale, hinge yourself forward. Inhale, come up. So we'll do a couple of these and then we'll stay. We'll eventually round and be passive, but squeeze the thighs. All right, so let's stay here. So you're squeezing your quads and then attempt to actually squeeze your legs together as well. Kel, you can be passive here. Come on up. Okay, so I don't want to spend too much time over each leg, but we're here, so let's kind of sway and gracefully move from side to side. So I'm going to have one hand on either side of, or on each side of my right leg, right? So we're kind of twisting over to the right. On your exhale, I want you to sweep your body through the center and over to the left. So a little bit of rounding through the back. And then again, on your exhale, sweep through the center and come to land toward the right. So we inhale while we're over the leg, and we exhale and sweep. Let's just do a couple more. Exhale, sweep through the center. You got it. So when we do it like this, now there's more at play, right? We've got a little bit more of the side and the back body, a little more hamstrings, not just inner thighs. Right. And your next pass to your left, we're going to stay there. Right. Then we'll come back up to center. Now you can passively fold through your legs, round your body, drop the head if it's comfortable. We'll stay here for just another minute. Okay, let's come on up. And then sit one hand on each knee. Not the most comfortable position, but probably more so than you just were. Bring your hands behind you, roll your hips back, disengage. Oh, I get to lean against the wall, that's comfortable. And then bring those legs together. Once they're somewhat together, rotate left and right. Okay, so we're gonna move right into Shavasana. Because our legs were splayed and open and rotated the majority of this class, we are gonna use that strap to close them up a little bit. So get that blanket for your head and neck. If you want the bolster, have that bolster for your knees. You do not need it though. And putting socks back on. Okay, so you want to make a really big loop in your strap so it fits halfway up your thighs. And then ideally your buckle is in between your thighs, not on your legs at all. So now what happens when you lie back, everything kind of loosens up a little bit. So you need to tighten, right? And then with your hands, you grab one thigh, roll it inward. So it's kind of like your heel goes out, right? But the thigh goes in. So this just helps to rotate the legs a little bit more. Okay. And then adjust your blanket. Roll a couple of the edges under to support your neck, your head and neck. Okay. So now in all of your awareness, I want you to think about the support offered by this strap. The support if you are using the bolster. It again creates a heaviness for the legs, which moves them toward rest. And then underneath that heaviness, though, you can still feel the long lines that you created. Underneath the heaviness, you're still somewhat established in the ease that you've brought to your body. And it's that ease that we'll rest in. Shavasana. Please take a deep breath in and out. Before moving, just feel the comfort. And how much more at ease you are in your body. But now the anticipation of movement and getting to the rest of your day. So start to move the body. And then ideally that buckle is close at hand so you can loosen it a little bit. Okay. And then bend your knees. Just move the strap so that it's just down below the knees or around the ankles. And then when you roll to your side, that's a good place for you to start to kick the strap off. And then press yourself up to a seated position with your eyes closed. Let's bring your hands to your heart center and bow your head slightly. Thank you so much for your practice. I hope you feel at ease, but also energized, motivated for your day. I offer you each a namaste.